Hello and welcome. Tonight, 2 security operatives killed in Omuma, Rivers State as the crisis over the tenure of local government chairmen in the state escalates. Police in Lagos rescued kidnapped Fuani brothers and 2 others in Urugbo Ido area of Ekpe Local Government Council. And military to establish 2 more operating bases in southern Kaduna and Beningwari to enhance security in the frontline locations of Kaduna State.
On business news tonight, Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission extends 2024 licensing bid round registration by 10 days.
On sports news tonight, Turkey breaks debutant Georgia's heart with a thrilling victory, while Portugal beats Czech Republic in Group F at the 2024 Euros holding in Germany.
From Abuja, the nation's capital, Senate President Godswill Akpabio defends the reversal to the old national anthem as he links a spike in banditry in Nigeria to the old anthem.
And in international news from London, administration officials say President Joe Biden is set to announce a new policy that would protect hundreds of thousands of undocumented spouses of US citizens from deportation.
The political tension in Rivers State over the tenure of local government chairmen in the state has claimed the lives of 2 security operatives in Omuma local government area. Confirming the incident, the spokesperson of the Rivers State Police Command, Grace Iringikoko, said the victims are a policeman and a vigilante operative. Earlier in the day, the state governor, Siminalayi Fubara, directed heads of administrations in the 23 local government areas to take over from the elected council chairman whose 3-year tenure elapsed on Monday. Shortly after, some youths invaded the local government areas in the state, prompting the governor to convene a security meeting with security operatives.
The misgivings in Rivers State politics appear to have shifted to the 3rd year of government administration. Very early in the day, some people began to mobilize towards local government secretariats in the state. Their intention is to, in their words, prevent council chairmen whose tenure expired at 12 midnight on Monday, June 17, 2024, from accessing the premises. At Rumo Dumaya, the headquarters of Obiakpo local government area, is this site of singing, dancing, and even cooking. And for them, securing the secretariat is top priority, even if it entails staying a bit longer. The Joy Youth Council has joined in the occupation here, insisting that the tenure of the local government chairman is over.
We are here in solidarity with democracy. We are law-abiding citizens. We are Ijaw people. We stand for justice, we stand for peace, and we stand for equity. We are here to say, local government chairman, thank you. You have governed your local government council for 3 years. Please, peacefully take a walk and leave.
Events took a different turn at Port Court local government area as shots were fired when Olwell Ihuda attempted to enter the council and was resisted. In his response to today's development, Mr. Nosiki says there is no cause for alarm as far as the local government council is concerned.
We have heard that in Omuma, they have attacked Nigerian police force. We are asking the Inspector General of Police to please, he needs to redeploy DIGs because it is clear that our city is becoming overwhelmed with the current crisis. If the information we are hearing in other local governments is anything to go by. The area commander and his men, all the DPOs have taken over the council. There is nobody in the council. We only came here to do this press conference so that when they will start posting their viral videos that we have run away from our council, we don't run for people.
Meanwhile, controversy appears to be brewing over the decision of 21 out of the 23 local government council chairmen to remain in office for the next 6 months. They say they have the backing of the law, among other considerations.
nobody wants to stay beyond his tenure. But we run a constitutional democracy where everything is by the law, the grand norms. And we must ask ourselves, what did the grand norms say about local government, the territory of government? Is that must be governed by elected council chairman. And for whatever reason, if the governor of the state refuses to conduct local government election, and graciously the House of Assembly has extended our tenure, what fault is it of ours? It's never our fault. People rather should be asking the governor, why did you not conduct local government election when these persons at the tenure were running over? Okay. We were in River State, I challenge everybody. There was no time the state said they want to conduct election and somebody took them to court to conduct election. There was no time, I challenge.
Yes. Two chairmen have indicated interest to hand over to the administrative heads of their councils.
I've already vacated office, preparation for today. All I'm waiting is for His Excellency to give directive and we do the needful. In those local governments that were having issues, they should just embrace peace, and I will advise my colleagues, if I may say, former colleagues, to obey the law.
As all of this unfolds, the governor seemed not to be leaving anything to chance, as he has quickly convened an emergency security meeting which held behind closed doors. But here is a highlight of the discussion.
We are also aware that our enemy is also planning a lot of things, but we will not fall into that plot where we will allow him or them to destroy the peace that we're enjoying in the state. I am also aware that there is also a grand plan to come and arrest some of our supporters. This time around, you have to pass through me to arrest them, because I don't think there is anything that any of those people following us have done rather than stand on the side of truth. If it will cost us our life to stand on the part of truth, we will do that.
It's a day before resumption of work after the break to celebrate Eid Kabir. Residents and watchers of Rivers political events can only continue to hope for a quick resolution to all the crisis.
Meanwhile, the bust statue of the FCT minister and former governor of Rivers State, Nyesom Wike, has been destroyed by irate youth who stormed the Obiakpo Council headquarters earlier today. One of the youth, who was visibly angry and speaking in a mix of the Kwere dialect and English, pulled the statue down while the others cheered him on. Away from the local government crisis in Rivers State, the three Fuani brothers whisked away in their boats by unknown gunmen in Lagos recently have been rescued. Of 5 victims in total, 3 Lebanese, the boat captain and his assistant, were rescued in Urugbo-Ido area in Ekpe local government area of Lagos State. The state police spokesperson, Benjamin Hundeyin, explains that the victims were rescued late on Monday night. He adds that Marine Police, with the support of the Nigerian Navy, brought the abducted persons to shore and have been taken by the tactical team to their homes. The managing director of Fuani, Mohammed Fuani, and 3 brothers, Abbas Fuani, Yusuf Fuani, and Amtal Fuani, were all kidnapped around the Falamo Bridge in the Kui area of the state on Friday evening while traveling from Apapa to Victoria Island on a boat. In Kaduna State, at least 6 persons have been reportedly killed and scores of others abducted by bandits who attacked Bauda and Chibia communities of Maro Ward in Kajuru local government area of Kaduna State. The bandits were said to have stormed the 2 villages on Monday afternoon and unleashed terror, killing 6 people and later abducted an unspecified number of people. Several others also sustained varying degrees of injuries. Now, the police authorities in Kaduna are yet to comment on the incident, but the executive chairman of Kajuru local government, Ibrahim Gajere, said in a statement the bandits in their large numbers invaded the communities on motorcycles on Monday afternoon and immediately shot 2 persons at Boda village and later killed 4 others at Chibia village. He explains that 4 of the victims were killed in their farms while 2 others were killed in their homes. Meanwhile, the Kaduna State Governor, Uba Sani, says the military will soon establish 2 new forward operating bases in the southern area and Birnin-Gwari as part of efforts to curb the menace of banditry, kidnapping, and other related security threats. Governor Sani, who gave the hint during the meeting with the Elders Forum in his office, explains that the new military bases will enhance security in the frontline locations to enable farmers have access to their lands. He also ordered the distribution of free fertilizers and other farm inputs to 60,000 smallholder farmers in order to enhance food security and economic growth in Kaduna State.
Since the inception of his administration in May 2023, Governor Uba Sani has made it a tradition to meet with relevant stakeholders in Kaduna State with the aim of intimating them about his programs and policies, as well as to get their inputs. Here at the Executive Council chamber of the Sir Kashim Ibrahim Government House, Governor Sani is hosting members of the Kaduna Elders Forum, led by former military governor of Rivers State, General Zamani Lekwat, and a former head of the civil service in Kaduna State, Mr. Abubakar Mustafa. The meeting attracts Kaduna citizens from across political party affiliations and religious divide. The governor uses the opportunity to render his account of stewardship, especially in the area of security, healthcare, and agriculture. To enhance security in the state, Governor Sani informs the elders that plans are underway for the establishment of 2 new military operating bases in frontline locations at Birnin-Gwari and southern Kaduna.
I want to also use this opportunity to thank our own brother, that is General Christopher Musa, the CDS, who have been supporting us because of his own effort and the effort of other service chiefs. Kaduna State have been benefiting with some level of intervention by the military. Only a few weeks ago, we concluded our arrangement with the military to set up forward operating base in southern Kaduna and another one in Giwa and Birnin-Gwari Aziz. All the arrangements have been concluded.
Some of the elders commend Governor Sani for what they describe as his open-door policy and make recommendations for areas that need his intervention.
One area that needs attention is the decimation of some chiefdoms, especially the dismissed district and village heads. The horrible things happening are taking place in those areas. We appeal to Your Excellency to restore these people back to office, empower them. They will become the eyes and ears of government.
Honestly speaking, I would counsel that maybe we need to look at this thing in some greater detail. Yes, fertilizer will increase production, no doubt about it. Farm inputs will improve production, no doubt about it, sir. But I think we need to look at agriculture, sir, in a more comprehensive manner. How do we make agriculture in Nigeria economically viable? It was in the past, sir. We need to develop a mechanism of price support for our farmers.
With a reassurance by Governor Sani to deepen citizens' engagement, members of the Elders Forum have also resolved to cooperate with the state government to rebuild trust in their communities, especially with regards to the implementation of the government rural transformation agenda.
In part 2, after the break, Muslim community in Anambra State paid traditional Salah homage to Governor Chukwuma Soludo in Awka. Please stay with us. Welcome back. If you've just joined us, you're watching the news at 10. Coming to you live on Channels Television from Lagos. A reminder of our top stories. 2 security operatives killed in Omuma River State as the crisis over the tenure of local government chairmen in the state escalates. Police in Lagos rescue kidnapped Fuani brothers and 2 others in Urugwedo area of Ekpe Local Government Council. Military to establish 2 more operating bases in southern Kaduna and Benin Gwari to enhance security in the frontline locations of Kaduna State. And administration officials say President Joe Biden is set to announce a new policy that will protect hundreds of thousands of undocumented spouses of U.S. citizens from deportation. In Anambra State, members of the Muslim community have paid the traditional Salah homage to the state governor, Professor Soludo, at the Governor's Lodge in Awka, the state capital. The leader of the Muslim delegation notes that the essence of the visit is to felicitate with the governor and congratulate him on the good works he is doing in the state.
I'm the leader of Solar in Awka for developing Anambra City. To keep the light shining. We greatly appreciate these media houses for finding him worthy. This address will not be complete if we do not commend Mr. Governor for recently taking further steps to stem the tide of security challenges in our dear state. Prof. Darwin Chukwugozieki. These steps are the signing into law of the anti-touting bill and the anti-secret code bill. Drawing from the above, you have restored public confidence in democracy and government.
On his part, Governor Soludo says he appreciates the visit and asks the Muslim faithful to take seriously the essence of the Eid al-Kabir celebration.
Our old and now the new national anthem says it all, that though tribes and tongue may differ, but in brotherhood we do what? Yes, it recognizes that there should be unity in diversity. That is our prayer on this particular moment, that Nigeria's great potentials will be realized with all of us bonding together in unity, irrespective of tribes or tongues or religion and so on and so forth. Everyone has something to contribute. And that calls finally to the spirit of sacrifice. At a moment like this, when there are cries and complaints, hunger, poverty, rising cost of living, and so on and so forth, we're all in it together. We are all in it together. But what we also use this moment talking about this collective responsibility and personal responsibility is that each person has something to do. Complaint is good, but doing something about it is better. And I think this is a moment where each of us, there is a saying that no one is too poor to give and no one is too rich to receive. This is a moment where we'll repeat that in a different way. Everyone has something positive to contribute to solving Nigeria's problem today.
Military personnel maintaining law and order across various areas of operations have been commended for their courage and love for the country in the face of security challenges. This was contained in a message by the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Taoreed Lagbaja, to troops of Operation Safe Haven and personnel of 3 Division at the headquarters of Operation Safe Haven in Jos, Plateau State, to celebrate this year's Eid al-Kabir.
It was a relaxed atmosphere as officers and personnel of 3 Division Nigerian Army and troops of Operation Safe Haven were treated to lunch, courtesy of the Chief of Army Staff, in celebration of the Eid al-Kabir. Represented by General Officer Commanding 3 Division and Commander Operation Safe Haven, Major General Abdul Salam Abubakar, the Chief of Army Staff urged the troops not to relent in their sacrifice to the nation.
Our personnel have displayed uncommon courage and faith in our dear country in the face of grave danger, and like the good soldiers that they are, come out victorious for our nation. Many bear the badge of courage and bravery in the form of battle scars and deformities, while others are lucky to only have memories and stories to tell of their sacrifice to our beloved country. In it all, we remain resolute in winning all land battles against our nation's adversaries, both internal and external.
The Plateau State government, through the Special Advisor on Security, who is also the commander of Operation Rainbow, assured of continuous support to the military.
I'm very grateful to all of you that follow his direction, and as a result, we are achieving what we achieve now on the plateau. And I assure you that we'll continue to do our best as a government, as a state, to support you in whatever little way we can, so that you undertake your duties successfully, and that within the limited circumstances, you will be as comfortable as you can. There are instances where you may have been offended by our people in the course of your duty. Please, on their behalf, I apologize to all of you here today. And I want you, please, as professionals, to just take it in your stride. Sometimes they may not understand what you are going through and where you are coming from.
This interaction with the troops is expected to be a morale booster in the fight against insecurity.
So let's head to the nation's capital now, and Gloria Umezuke is standing by to give us the very latest from our Abuja studios. Great to see you again, Gloria. Over to you.
Very many thanks, Ayo. Here in the nation's capital, the president of the Senate, Senator Godswill Akpabio, says Nigeria might not be experiencing banditry today if the country had not changed its anthem in 1978. He made this remark during a visit to the Nigerian Institute of Legislative and Democratic Studies. Senator Akpabio highlighted the recent national anthem bill as one of the 10th Assembly's most appealing pieces of legislation. He also mentioned the Students' Loan Bill as another significant bill passed by the Assembly.
The bill that was sent to us by President Tinubu on students' loans and scholarship program to enable Nigerian vulnerable students, the less privileged, to obtain higher education. And as I speak to you now, over 30,000 Nigerian students have already been selected to benefit from that. That is one of the bills that I would say appeals to me the most. The other one of social impact is reverting to our old national anthem. A lot of people are not aware that there was a panel set up made up of Nigerians to receive inputs from all over the world in 1959. So when people are saying, oh, we are bringing you colonial anthem, please look into the history of the Nigeria we held here. If we kept to that national anthem, we probably would not have banditry today in Nigeria. But if you take your neighbor as your brother, you would not want to kill your brother, would you? Yes. If you take your neighbor as your brother, you would not want to go into the farm to behead your brother.
In the meantime, the Nigerian army is calling for responsible use of social media for national security. The commander of Special Joint Task Force Northwest Operation, Hadirindaji, Major General Godwin Mutkut, made the call during the 34th Nigerian Army Social Media Seminar in Gusau, the Zamfara state capital. He urges social media handlers and influencers, as well as youths, to deploy social media to collectively enhance national security, harmony and economic development in the country.
This is the 34th Nigerian Army Social Media Seminar, and participants include social media handlers, influencers and mainstream media across Zamfara state. The idea of the seminar is to enlighten and sensitize the participants on the power of social media, and it can be used to enhance national security and promote peace and economic growth in the state. The General Officer commanding 8th Division of the Nigerian Army, Sokoto, who is also the commander of the Special Joint Task Force Northwest Operation Hadirindaji, Major General Godwin Mutkut, makes an appeal on the responsible use of social media.
I charge you all to actively engage in the discussion in this seminar to gain deeper understanding of how reckless sharing of damaging messages, videos, and voice notes on social media could jeopardize our peaceful coexistence. I also urge you to take copious notes, seek clarification where needed, and it will give us a better understanding of this seminar.
The Chief of Civil Military Affairs of the Nigerian Army, Major General Nosakare Ogbo, speaks on the potential of social media.
While we stand united, we must realize that each post, each share, each comment on the social media has the potential to either undermine or strengthen our collective efforts towards a peaceful and united Nigeria.
Governor Dauda Lawal of Zamfara State is represented by the State Commissioner for Youths and Sports Development, Mr. Tasiu Shinkafi, and he emphasizes on the importance of verifying contents before publishing such on social media.
Always check the credibility of the source before sharing any information. Really unreadable news, reputable news, outlined an official statement. B, test checking. Use fact-checking website and tools to verify the accuracy of the information you encounter online. C, critical thinking.
The Army hopes to continue engagements like this to strengthen the cordial relationship between the military and civilians.
Governor Abu Kefas of Taraba State says his administration will collaborate with the Nigerian Army School of Military Engineering in the construction of 91.8 kilometers of roads across 16 local government areas of the state. The partnership also includes the provision of potable water to residents in Jalingo, Ibi, and Wukari towns.
This meeting between the Taraba State government and officials of the Nigerian Army School of Military Engineering focuses on addressing the infrastructure deficit in the state.
We Army engineers
For the first time, the Taraba State government is engaging the expertise of Army engineers for the construction of 91.8 kilometers of roads and scaling up of access to drinking water at a total cost of 60 billion naira.
Once we are given the tax, we see to the infinity of we ensure that that tax is delivered. And the Corps Commander engineers said I should assure you that once the collaboration works out, that you have your work done. And I assure you I will be on the ground to supervise all that will be done by the grace of God's side. So, Your Excellency, sir, in your aspirations and resolve to improve the road infrastructure, especially by way of resettling the internally displaced persons who have deserted their communities due to insurgency, as covered in our deliberations while we met in Abuja, sir. The Nigerian collaboration with SAGMA conducted a reconnaissance survey and have identified areas of interest that need infrastructure interventions to resettle the IDPs. A total of 7 routes were selected for the first phase of the intervention, and a joint venture agreement drawn on how to execute the tax across the 3 central districts of the state.
Governor Kefa says the projects will have direct bearing on the lives of the residents and attract investors to the state.
We want to assess areas that we can assess and that we need. The work should be done in such a way that it will stand test of time. So we want to use one stone to kill 2 birds. So I believe that once you and also to revive our own state company. So keep them busy. They have to be engaged in some of this work, and so that there will be circulation in the economy. At least things will move within the state.
The governor also promises to address all bottlenecks in the state's economy using the resources available to the state government.
Still ahead on the news at 10, Nigeria Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission extends 2024 licensing bid round registration by 10 days. Well, that's in business news. Please join us again. Welcome back. You're still watching the news at 10, coming to you live on Channels Television. The Kano state government has commenced the construction of an 85-kilometer bridge and road in Madobi local government area. The project, which is worth about 21 billion naira, is poised to improve business activities between rural and urban communities. Our correspondent, Nanchin Vincent, reports on the inaugural event, which has created excitement among the residents.
Madobi local government area, one of the communities which gave the present administration of Governor Abba Yusuf a huge number of votes during the 2023 elections. It's a community which connects to other local governments and neighboring states such as Kaduna and Katsina. However, it has been challenged with access roads to move goods for a while now. This will soon be a thing of the past, as Governor Yusuf, in company of Senator Rabiu Kwankwaso, has flagged off the commencement of an 85-kilometer road project worth 21 billion naira to bridge the gap between rural and urban communities.
Today we are here performing a similar function, which is in line with our resolve to ensure spatial distribution of projects to cut across the length and breadth of our dear state, which will ultimately lead to wider spread of wealth and more enhanced economic activities.
The governor also noted that feeder access roads will be provided for farmers across the 44 local government areas in the state.
It is also our intention to further reduce the existing wide gap between the urban and the rural areas. Hence, we have in the pipeline a robust integrated rural development plan that ensures comprehensive healthcare system, schools, provision of potable water, roads and related infrastructure.
While the NNPP leader and founder of the Kwankwasia movement has applauded the governor for continuing with his initiatives 8 years ago.
Let me assure the governor and the government of Kano State, on behalf of all of us, of continued support, continued prayers, so that his administration would succeed. Because we believe that the success of his administration is our success, the success of Madobi, Kura, Garumana, Kiru, Bebeji, and all other people who are likely going through this work.
The government also promised that it will continue to offer results and purposeful policies for the equitable spread of dividends of democracy.
The Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC, has flagged off its free medical mission in Cross River State, targeting about 3,500 rural dwellers. Speaking at the venue of the outreach at the General Hospital, Akampa, local government area in the southern senatorial district of the state, the Director NDDC on Education, Health and Social Services, Dr. George Uzowanne, explained that the e-outreach is the Commission's intervention in the Niger Delta area on healthcare. According to him, the one-week medical outreach would take care of patients with different ailments and those that require surgical operations.
For many rural dwellers, the question of when government welfare will be accessible to them remains a quest. The lack of attention on such dwellers, due to the absence of access to healthcare service, leads them to resort to herbal remedies that may have detrimental effects. Until now, many rural dwellers have been neglected from outreach events aimed at benefiting the community, as most governments concentrate on urban residents. The NDDC medical outreach is set to change the narrative to address healthcare challenges for rural dwellers in the Niger Delta region.
We have a team that will be here to look after them until they are discharged and are well enough to go home. But there will be cases that we will not be able to treat in this kind of facility, because it's just a secondary facility. We have a referral system where the consultants we refer them to the commission, and those of them we can assist, we'll assist them to get their treatments in our tertiary facilities.
For the senator representing the Southern Senatorial District, Asuko Ekpeyon, the choice of the rural areas for the medical mission is to provide free health care to the poor and the vulnerable in the region.
The mission is open to all Cross Riverians. In fact, people that may not even be from Cross River may end up coming here. We are not going to turn down or turn away anyone that is sick. So it's open to every Cross Riverian.
Commending the NDDC and its partners, the clan head of Akangba town appreciates the gesture brought to the people of the local government area.
This is the first time of the kind of NDDC, not other that brought this good venture to the poor, the grassroots of the senatorial district.
Following the 7-day medical outreach, the NDDC plans to continue monitoring individuals with severe medical conditions until their full recovery. The hope is that similar initiatives will be extended to other local government areas in the Cross River State.
Well, that's it from the nation's capital. And for more on the news at 10, it's back to you, Ayo, in Lagos.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much indeed, Gloria. The Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority, the NCAA, has reiterated the safety of the Nigerian airspace. The Acting Director General of the NCAA, Chris Najomo, made the assertion through a press statement while reacting to a recent case of violation of restricted airspace by 2 aircrafts. Mr. Najomo further gives reasons for the incident as adverse weather after investigations were carried out. The statement, however, assures the public that there is no cause for alarm as the NCAA remains committed to ensuring a safe and secure air navigation in Nigeria's airspace. Cadbury Nigeria Limited, makers of TomTom brand, has unveiled its latest set of ambassadors in Lagos. The event had management, artists, and the media present, which served as an opportunity to reintroduce a product that has a connection with generations. And Cadbury says it is determined to keep making available to its loyal consumers, who are the youth.
TomTom, one of Nigeria's top-selling brands of menthol-flavored candy distributed across Nigeria, unveiled its latest set of brand ambassadors in Lagos.
Wherever we are in making somebody's life a little better, to find the clarity they need to reach out for their dreams, their goals, and their aspirations, you will find TomTom there.
Those chosen as TomTom brand ambassadors reveals the company's target audience. Management gives reasons for the unveiling.
We're looking for people who can motivate, encourage, and inspire, and give the messaging of TomTom, breathing for it. Life goes on. You know, this generation has a lot on its neck, a lot on its mind, and having ambassadors that can showcase that, you know, despite all that's going on, there's room to have fun, there's room to enjoy music, there's room to enjoy breathing for it. This is the reasoning behind these ambassadors.
The company says its target audience is well identified, which is the younger generation.
We're here to celebrate our very important and flagship brand, TomTom. As in, we're signing some brand ambassadors that will help us improve and make this product available, visible to this new Gen Z generation.
And we believe that with this collaboration, it will help promote the brand, the company, and also their own careers in terms of, you know, their brands as musicians.
For the new TomTom ambassadors, it's an opportunity and an honor to have been chosen.
It's very uplifting for us as cavemen that we're given this opportunity to be ourselves even more and to carry a brand that has carried itself for a long time, you know.
TomTom is a brand I've known for years, you know, literally grew up knowing, so it's a thing of honor to, you know, grow up into a man and collaborate with them. And I'm looking forward to, you know, inspiring the young generation. Big appreciation to Cadbury, and I'm only looking forward to making sure that everything goes right and the brand gets a wider reach.
TomTom Candy, introduced in 1970, remains a strong brand as its makers,
Cadbury Nigeria PLC,
promises to continuously make it available to consumers.
Willie Bong is on standby to give us the very latest in the world of business. Will.
Thank you, Ayotunde. The Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission has extended the 2024 licensing bid round registration by 10 days. The Commission's Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Gbenga Komolafe, says that the extension aims to give interested investors more opportunities to participate. Mr. Komolafe emphasized the Commission's commitment to maximizing the value of Nigeria's oil and gas reserves and increasing production. He mentioned ongoing collaboration with multi-client companies to enhance exploratory activities and gather more data to attract investments in the upstream sector. The Commission has also added 17 deep offshore blocks to the 2024 licensing round based on new data. The federal government has announced a $3.5 billion agreement with Afreximbank to boost the textile industry and promote the use of compressed natural gas (CNG) vehicles within a year. The Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, Mrs. Doris Uzoka-Anite, made this known today on her official X page, noting that the deal was signed at the 31st Afrexim annual meeting in Nassau, the Bahamas. The agreement includes a $3 billion industrialization financing facility to accelerate Nigeria's industrialization, statewide investment projects for regional development, and a global country guarantee to boost investor confidence. It also aims to revamp the textile and apparel industry with a projected $3.3 billion in projected capital expenditure, creating jobs and developing the CNG value chain for sustainable automotive and transport sectors. Mrs. Uzoka-Anite emphasizes that this landmark agreement aligns with President Tinubu's vision for a diversified and prosperous economy. Now, real estate contribution to Nigeria's GDP dropped by 0.5% in the first quarter of 2024 compared to 2023, and stakeholders in the real estate industry have identified a number of issues affecting the industry. One is inefficiencies in property registration in Lagos State. According to Mr. Tokwe Salami, partner at IRT Associates, there are too many agencies doing the same thing, which is stifling the industry. Mr. Salami was a guest on Business Morning earlier today.
Of Lagos State, you even see local government coming in, for stocking materials on the road. Sometimes you see local government officials come in and say, well, you don't have the right to do this. If you want to build a property, your materials must be in the confines of your building. And, there are too many agencies, in my own view, doing the same thing. Right. You see, there are too many agencies doing the same thing. If it would have been easier if what about 2-3 agencies, that's what it's applicable all over the world. For example, I don't see why LAPSCA and the Lagos State Fiscal Planning Permit Authority shouldn't be merged into one. They seem to be doing the same thing. Then you see the Lagos State Material Testing Laboratory. They are also there, and they are, what they do is, they get a mixture of your concrete. They just want to test the viability if it's solid enough. If we're in a system where those bills can be calculated based on what you earn, it would have been easier. But for example, I'm doing a construction in somewhere in, let's say Mushin, for example. And I'm giving a personal income tax of over 2 million naira to pay, which even is more than what the fiscal has. So a lot of these issues, has caused a significant decline in, real estate development.
Outside of our shores in the U.S., to be precise, retail spending in May rose just 0.1%, falling short of expectations as consumers grapple with high inflation. This was below economists' projections and followed a revised 0.2% decline in April. At the same time, sales increased by 2.3% year-on-year. Excluding autos, sales dropped 0.1% against an expected 0.2% rise. Meanwhile, stock markets managed to shake off the weak retail sales data. Now, Malaysia's government says it would soon begin the formal process of joining the BRICS bloc of emerging economies. The Southeast Asian country's Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim made this announcement after receiving feedback from South Africa. With this report, Malaysia becomes the latest country to take part in an expanding group seen challenging the Western-led global order. Founded in 2006, BRICS originally comprised Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. In January, the bloc expanded its membership to include Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran, and the United Arab Emirates. And that's a wrap on business. It's back to you, Ayotunde.
Thank you so much, Will. President Bola Tinubu has arrived in Pretoria, South Africa for the inauguration of President Cyril Ramaphosa for his second term in office. The president arrived at 5:30 p.m. local time. The inauguration of President Ramaphosa is scheduled to hold on Wednesday, June the 19th at the Union Buildings in Pretoria, following his re-election by the South African Parliament on Friday, June the 14th. According to a statement by the Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Ajuri Ngalali, on Tuesday, President Tinubu will return to Nigeria after the ceremony. Russian President Vladimir Putin arrived in North Korea to a red carpet welcome on Tuesday night at the start of his first visit to the totalitarian state in 24 years. Mr. Putin was met on the tarmac by the North Korean leader Kim Jong-un and flanked by a military guard of honor. The pair talked animatedly for several minutes. Here's Simon Puser with other international news in and around the world in 5.
Good evening and welcome to the channel's studios here in London with your international news around the world in 5. Administration officials say President Joe Biden is set to announce a new policy that would protect hundreds of thousands of undocumented spouses of US citizens from deportation. The issue of immigration has proven an election year headache for Mr. Biden, who recently issued a sweeping executive action to curb record migrant arrivals at the US-Mexico border. The new policy will apply to those who have been in the country for at least 10 years and will allow them to work in the US legally. The White House believes more than 500,000 spouses will benefit. Mr. Biden has vowed to make the US immigration system more fair and more just. Polls show that the issue is a primary concern for many voters ahead of the presidential poll in November. Russian President Vladimir Putin has arrived in the North Korean capital Pyongyang, where he will meet leader Kim Jong-un. The two leaders last met in September in Vladivostok, but this is Putin's first visit to Pyongyang since 2000. The US and Seoul have accused North Korea of supplying Russia with artillery and other equipment, likely in exchange for food and military aid. Both countries deny the existence of an arms deal, but vowed last year to strengthen military ties. After North Korea, Mr. Putin will visit Vietnam, a longtime ally. Both countries are expected to discuss issues such as trade. Meanwhile, North Korean soldiers briefly crossed the demilitarized zone, according to South Korea. The soldiers retreated after the South Korean military fired warning shots, but Seoul believes their violation of the border was not intentional. The border itself is not fenced, and the signposts are obscured by heavy growth of vegetation. It's the second crossing incident in 2 weeks, with Seoul saying North Korean troops crossed into South Korea on the 9th of June with tools, including pickaxes. They retreated when South Korean armed forces reacted with loudspeaker warnings and warning shots. Kenya's government has scrapped some proposed taxes in this year's controversial finance bill after a public outcry. The announcement by MPs came as police fired tear gas and used water cannon to try to disperse angry protesters in the capital, Nairobi. The Parliamentary Finance Committee has axed what would have been a 16% levy on bread, as well as higher taxes on cooking oil and mobile money services. Since coming into office in 2022, President William Ruto has introduced several new and unpopular taxes with the aim of eliminating the country's national debt of nearly $80 billion. Singer Justin Timberlake has been arrested in New York and is expected to be formally charged shortly. The pop star has been arrested on charges related to driving while intoxicated. Mr. Timberlake was arrested in Sag Harbor, an affluent village in the Hamptons, a popular summer destination for celebrities on Long Island. McDonald's is removing artificial intelligence-powered ordering technology from its drive-through restaurants in the United States after customers shared its comical mishaps online. A trial of the system, which uses voice recognition software to process orders, was announced in 2019. It has not proved entirely reliable, however, resulting in viral videos of bizarre misinterpreted orders ranging from bacon-topped ice cream to hundreds of dollars worth of chicken nuggets. McDonald's told franchises it would remove the tech from the more than 100 restaurants it had been testing it in by the end of July. And a mysterious monolith has appeared in the Nevada desert over the weekend, sparking speculation as to what it may be and who is behind it. The structure was spotted by the Las Vegas Police Department, who said they saw it during a search and rescue mission north of the Las Vegas Valley. The monolith is similar to other similarly puzzling ones that appeared around the globe in 2020. The tall, rectangular, reflective structure was spotted near Gas Peak, a hiking area in the Nevada desert, just about an hour north of Las Vegas. And that's your international news around the world in 5. Now back to the channel's studios in Lagos.
Thanks, Simon, and welcome to Sports News. The MKO Abiola National Stadium will host the finals of Nigeria's oldest football competition, the President's Federation Cup, on June 29 in Abuja. The women's final will begin at 1 p.m., while the men's final will commence at 4 p.m., as is the tradition. The semi-finals of the men's competition will take place on Thursday, June 20, with Abuja and Lafia as host centers, while the quarterfinals of the women's competition will take place on Wednesday, June 19, with Benin City, Asaba and Enugu as host centers. To the Euros now. Young star Francisco Conceição snatched a last-gasp 2-1 win for Portugal over the Czech Republic in their Euro 2024 Group F opener this evening, just minutes after coming off the bench. The 21-year-old Porto winger capitalized from close range after the Czechs were unable to clear a cross. Completing his team's comeback, the Czechs went ahead against the run of play through Lucas Provoz's fine strike from the edge of the box after the hour mark. Cristiano Ronaldo's playing at a record-extended 6th European Championship was denied by Czech Republic goalkeeper on 3 occasions, as Portugal constantly looked to find the competition's to all-time top goal scorer. But let's stay with the Euros for a moment, as Turkey beats Euro 24 debutants Georgia 3-1 earlier this evening as well in a tightly contested encounter lit up by 2 breathtaking Turkish strikes either side of the half-time. Mert Müldür gave Turkey a first-half lead with a thunderous volley from the edge of the box. Georgia's Mkhitaryan quickly equalized in the second half, but 19-year-old Turkey star Arda Güler whipped in a curling effort with Karim Atukoglu adding a late third on the counter after Georgia had hit the woodwork twice. In tennis now, Carlos Alcaraz saved 3 set points on his way to beating Francisco Cerundolo 6-1, 7-5 as he launched his title defense at the Queen's Club earlier today. The Spanish star will lift his 3rd Grand Slam at the French Open earlier this month. Was not at his best in his first grass court match of 2024, but recovered from a mid-match dip to triumph. The win for the top seed and world number 2 extends his winning streak on grass to 13 matches.
Pretty good. Oh, what a point. What a point. He was everywhere. The defending champion moves on in style towards the end of that.
And Spanish star there, Carlos Alcaraz, enjoying the moments of his life. That's Sports News Tonight. I'm Kelly. It's back to Ayotunde.
Thank you, Kelly. And the main news again. 2 security operatives were today killed as Ijaw youth mobilized to occupy more local government council headquarters in Rivers State. This follows the announcement earlier in the day by the state governor that heads of administrations in the 23 local governments should take over from the elected chairman whose 3-year tenure elapsed on Monday. And administration officials have said President Joe Biden is set to announce a new policy that will protect hundreds of thousands of undocumented spouses of U.S. citizens from deportation. That's the news at 10 tonight. Many thanks for watching. I'm Ayotunde Balogun. Do have a good night and please stay safe.